Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 2 of You, Me, and Yuri Makes 3, a podcast where my wife, Megan, and I
Hello.
sit down and talk about one of her favorite programs, Yuri on Ice. How did you discover this show, Megan?
A lot of Twitter buzz. Like when I was still on Twitter. When did it come out? Not last year, but the year before, around Christmas.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, there was a lot of buzz on Twitter just about this amazing new show, and a lot of people that I followed were just like, "This is amazing! I'm obsessed with it. I've already watched it like 5 times all the way through, and everyone who needs to watch it needs to watch it right now." And it creeps up every so often. We are big fans of the Outside Xbox YouTube channel, and they mention it. They mention it actually probably more than they should.
More than once.
Yeah,
it
more
seems
than
to be one
once,
of those
yeah.
things that just kind of
It
you're
creeps
either
up.
into it or you're not. Like there's no middle ground with it.
Yeah.
Everybody is fanatical, or there's no passing interest.
Well, and I don't think I've ever heard of someone saying I tried it and I didn't enjoy it. So I mean that right there says it all. So
Well, so far, we are into episode number 2.
Mhm.
So as we go along, we'll find out if I actually like it too.
Yeah.
Because, there's no middle ground.
And just like going off of that, we are doing it episode by episode. So if you guys want to watch along with us, we'll be doing episode 3 next. So if you want to give it a go and watch it while we chit chat about it.
Yeah, that's a good
Might
point.
be a fun thing to do, just if it is something that interests you. So,
We're going to try and get these out every week.
yeah, every Tuesday, I think.
Every Tuesday. So it gives you lots of time to watch one half-an-hour episode.
Yeah.
I think the difficult part will be not binging on this.
Yeah, like this is probably the slowest I've watched it. I usually will do maybe like 6 episodes at a time.
We're savoring
yeah,
it.
I don't
like
know.
A fine wine.
This is very slow for me, and I'm just like, I want to watch the next episode because the next episode is so good, and it starts getting into that really exciting part. Like this is right now, it's just all like character introduction and things like that, but it's gonna start getting like super exciting and super competitive, and so I'm looking forward to it. But we will go as slow as we need to. So.
As we should, to enjoy everything.
Yeah.
So episode 2, titled "Two Yuris?" ? Drama at Utopia.
Yes.
Spelled Y-U-Topia.
Because there are 2 Yuris.
Now, just getting into this, I did make an observation. The squid statue, the squid humping urchin statue
Yes.
that I was very much looking forward to, spoilers, did not make an appearance.
It did in this episode, yes.
It did?
Yeah, when Yuri Plazetsky comes in, when he first gets to Hatsetsu, he takes a photo of it.
Oh, thank God.
Remember? And he's like, oh, creepy. And he takes a photo of it.
I must have been writing at the time. I'm glad. Okay.
Yeah,
everything's back
there.
on course.
You got to be able to like write and look at the show.
It's difficult because I'm trying to make notes that'll make sense to me.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we start off. There's no real bumper at the beginning this time. It just kind of launches straight into the theme.
Yeah.
So I think we might be done with intro bumpers. Some animes like to throw those in at the beginning. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
It's really just a matter of style. So
this is kind of it's not a spoiler, but like they do kind of a mid-season, even though it's only 12 episodes, kind of recap break sort of thing, and you'll get another bumper there. But
fair enough.
Other than that, I know it's kind of odd to be like, yeah, there's like a mid-season bumper in this 12 episode long series.
Well, I very much expected this episode to have a lot more jumping on,
Yeah.
Especially with new shows and right at the beginning. I find there's a lot of period of introduction, reintroduction, and then 3 times introduction for people who maybe they heard about it from a friend and they're jumping in on episode 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
there's a little bit of that recap at the beginning.
There's some exposition that we'll go over in just a little bit here. The first note that I have is Joseph again.
It isn't Joseph. That's not in the theme song, man.
Like, you say it, but
I looked up the lyrics.
Hearing the word Joseph.
I know. I do too. I hear it too, but it's not in those lyrics. It's just the way that the singer has sung it. I do want to say just regarding the theme song, there was that Japanese skater who was on YouTube, and remember he actually recreated the theme song, just IRL in real life. So if you want to look that up on YouTube, it's quite amazing to watch. So
We might even be able to attach it with some links next to this thing.
Hopefully, once
We'll
we
see
figure
about
that out.
Yes or no? Who cares? We'll just edit that part out.
Yeah. Okay.
My next thought on Joseph is: was he born to make history? Or is that just everyone?
Let's just this is 5 minutes on Joseph now.
Born to make history.
Yeah, let's get off the Joseph train. Okay.
All right, straight off of the Joseph train onto Jackoff. Happens to be Victor's coach. We get a little bit of a
Yakov.
Jackoff is Victor.
Yakov.
Yakov?
Why?
Yakov Smirnov.
Kind of.
Is that what we're doing here? Is Victor's coach from Russia. Not very pleased with the prospect of him. Victor, at the end of the last episode, watched the video recorded by the 3 young children and decided to come and be our Yuri's coach.
Yeah, it inspired him.
It inspired him to get him back in there. This was Victor's routine. Maybe just wanted to make sure that he did it properly. I don't know at this point. So we get a little bit of a side flash right near the beginning of the episode. We're in Russia. It's cold. Everybody speaks with outrageous Russian accents.
It's basically just kind of here's the first 2 days of between when the video was uploaded and Victor showed up in Hatsetsu. So
little thing about Victor doesn't give a fuck.
No, Victor gives exactly 0 fucks.
It was kind of nice to see. His coach said, "You're absolutely," I'm sorry with that outrageous head, "you're absolutely not leaving." Victor left.
Yeah. Well, and he's like, "This one time I can't do what you say," and Yakov's like, "You have never done what I say, ever." So it's well, then you're kind of a piss poor coach, aren't you? If he never listens to you and he still wins 5 consecutive championships.
You can't put reins on Victor.
No.
Or maybe you can. Maybe that's later in the episode. So Victor says goodbye to his coach while on a plane is the next note that I have. Mm-hmm. He's face to face with him.
Yes.
The conversation is going on.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to Victor on a plane.
Yeah. Where
Victor is now saying goodbye to his coach from the plane.
Yeah, it's just one of those fourth wall breaks. It's if you're in Hatsetsu, come and visit.
That's one of those parts in movies and media where people stop talking during a conversation, wait 40 to 50 minutes. There's check-in time, there's baggage. Oh, yeah. Obviously, he's bringing some baggage.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He did SEDEX a lot of stuff.
Yes, I have that as a note later.
Okay.
The internationally famous shipping company, SEDEX.
Yes.
Breakers of no copyright law.
Yes.
We start back with Yuri and his family all watching Victor sleep.
Well, they're all a little shocked. They're still confused about why Victor is here.
The last scene ended with Yuri and Victor, Victor being completely naked in the hot springs, thrusting his finger at Yuri, telling him that he will be his coach.
Yes.
That moves us to this scene where Victor passed out.
Yeah, he had a bath, and then he ate some food, and then he just passed out with the Minichin. Yeah.
At this point, Victor has not tried the pork cutlet bowl.
No, he hasn't yet.
Which is synonymous with this bathhouse,
hotel. It's a hotel hot spring thing.
Hotel hot spring. Good place to.
I just have a note here that
soak some pork.
There's Yuri blushes so much within the first 10 minutes of this episode.
There's a very
he is very, very blushing.
Yuri takes on, and it's kind of a trope in the anime as well, to a lot of chibi or childlike facial expressions, and it's all adorable. He's obviously really flustered to have his hero here, who he's already seen naked today. So we'll see where that goes.
So very naked.
But again, Yuri's whole family is watching Victor sleep. Victor's asleep in the main area.
Yeah. He kind of passed out.
For reasons.
Yeah. No, he just passed out. So.
And the whole family's just watching him sleep.
Yeah, well. They're kind of shocked, like I said. They're just why? What's even happening?
Mm-hmm. My next note is so very naked. We flash back to, this is a little bit more jumping on, where they remind us what happened in the last one.
Yeah.
The thrusting of the
Finger.
of Victor at Yuri. Minako is here again. She is an exposition machine.
Yeah, she watched the news and came rushing over to be like, this is what the news is saying. And it's basically telling us, Victor was so inspired that he was watching your video and then he had to rush here and become your coach to make you his protege. And this is big news. Like, this is huge. So
Yeah. She just full on good 30-40 seconds of just pure exposition, and then she just goes about her way.
Yep, pretty much.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
My next note is Victor came for you, right out of the mouth of Minako.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He sure did.
This will not be the last of those kind of little double entendre sort of thing. Like, there is.
Are you insinuating this is an innuendo and not an actual straightforward line of dialogue?
There is a lot of innuendos, and there's a lot of. Yeah, they literally just said that.
I am shocked. Absolutely shocked. Russian accent is now German for Victor's coach. We flash back to Mr. Yakov for just a couple seconds, and his accent fluctuates back and forth.
I didn't even hear that.
I'm not picking on the voice actor in any way, shape, or form.
I didn't even pick up on that. So.
I just wasn't sure he was actually Russian until this point. So now I'm guessing there's some sort of spy or espionage subplot involving Yakov.
Anyway, I have a note on here. Pork cutlet bowl still looks amazing.
That's my very next note as well.
So good. Like,
I want a pork cutlet bowl.
Yeah,
I cannot stress this enough. That looks like it's possibly the best food on the planet.
Yeah, it looks delicious, and it only gets better. It'll only get better for you. I'm just putting that out there. And the bumper this time, the little mid-episode bumper, was the pork cutlet bowl. And I had to nudge you so that you'd look at it because you were writing.
I shouldn't have. Yeah. It was like looking into the sun. It was too glorious.
We also, I have a note here just saying that Minako, it's kind of established here that she kind of set Yuri on the path to being a figure skater. Like, he went to her dance classes, and she was the one who's like, hey, maybe you should try figure skating.
Because she also has a figure skating background.
No, she's a ballet dancer.
She is a ballet dancer, but I remember in the last episode they'd mentioned that perhaps she had dabbled in it.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
All right. So now we get a shot of Victor's dog. Victor is cradling his little dog.
Poodle. So cute.
Squirming around on the ground there. It's pretty bloody adorable.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed in this episode, we also are introduced to the Minachin, his little poodle, tissue box holder that he takes with him to the rink. So it's a little replica.
Did not see it.
It's a little replica of his poodle, but it's got tissues coming out of it. So
is it fuzzy or?
It's fuzzy. It's fuzzy. It's got legs. It's like a stuffed animal, but it has a hole in it so that you can put a tissue box in it. So
there are so many sinister implications for that device.
We got introduced to that, and that's just like one of my favorite things. It's just like when he doesn't have his dog or he can't take his dog everywhere, he has this little stand-in.
Obviously, it's a nice little nod because they didn't draw a lot of attention to it.
Yep.
Victor and his Kleenex.
Yeah.
The next, Victor's nipples. Pretty prevalent. He's having a heart-to-heart. To nipple with Yuri, just basically telling him that he's going to be his coach.
Yeah, well, and that's Victor in a nutshell, right? Like, he has that confidence. He has no shame. Like, he literally has no shame. He's confident. He's basically everything that Yuri isn't. He's the opposite. He's what Yuri wants to be, right? He wants to be a winner. He wants to be confident. And Victor's just like, he gives zero fucks. That's his thing.
Could this potentially turn into a Fight Club type thing where there was no Victor?
No.
We'll see. We'll see where this goes. Codex Express happens to be the shipping company.
SEDEX.
SEDEX?
Yeah, CEDEX.
That would explain.
Express. Yeah.
Victor's nipples and a slumber party.
Yeah.
To get to know Yuri better.
Yeah.
Victor decides to crash Yuri's room, but Yuri's not having any of it.
No, and then he takes down all the posters because that's a little stalkery.
It's a little embarrassing.
A little stalkery.
The poster element almost gave it all away.
Yeah. And then, so basically Yuri didn't go for the slumber party. He's just, he needs some time to process, I think. Like, this is kind of first night. He needs some time to process this.
There's a new dog in the house. Yeah. The old dog isn't getting used to it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. So it's a little...
separate them a little. Make sure everybody's comfortable and in their own separate habitat.
But this is what Victor does, right? Like I said, he has no shame. So he's just like, I've had this great idea. We need to do this idea. Why wouldn't we do this idea? Because it's a great idea.
Some of Victor's amazing ideas include he will be Yuri's coach. There's nothing Yuri can say about it.
No.
The money that he will be paid is deferred until Yuri actually wins something.
Yes.
And at this point, he points out that Yuri is fat.
Yes. Yeah.
He calls him little piggy.
Yes.
Multiple times throughout.
Multiple times, yeah.
I believe this is the first time.
Yeah. He basically is like, I'm not going to coach you until you lose some weight, just because, he's not in a figure skater's physique.
He's not in fighting shape anymore.
No, he is not in fighting shape.
He's having pork cutlet bowls every day.
Yeah.
So being there, can't blame him.
Oh, I know, they look so good.
Amazing.
They look so good. And through just kind of this getting to know you bit with him and Victor, we learn that Yuri has never had a significant other. Mm-hmm. He's very naive in those worldly ways, and it's very obvious that Victor is not.
Victor has no boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Like, I always assumed that Victor was bisexual, but that's just the vibe that he always gave off for me. But I don't know. Is that something that you kind of picked up on?
I guess it's
very ambiguous.
Kind of just
right?
omnisexual at this point.
Exactly.
He asks Yuri if he has any girlfriends, and that's really his go-to.
Do you
have
any boyfriends? Yeah. And then he's like, I'll tell you about all my ex-lovers. And Yuri's like, please don't. I don't want to know.
So Yuri looking a little uncomfortable here.
Yeah, he's a little uncomfortable.
Where Victor's been before here.
Yeah. And then I think at this point we get introduced back into Yuri Plazetsky, because we see him on his bed with his adorable little cat.
Badass rock and roll Yuri.
Yeah.
Yuri 2.
Yuri Plazetsky, yeah. So he's on his bed with his cat, and all I have is, for my note, is Yuri Plazetsky's cat is adorable.
So cute. So he's chilling out in Russia.
Yeah.
He's a little less than gruntled.
Yeah. He's not a fan that Victor left.
He's seen the news, so he gets a great idea in his head. He's just going to go wrestle Victor away from Yuri 1.
Yeah, and I think at this point, do we see the flashback to him as a kid?
Yeah, that's the very next part.
Okay.
So right after, there's a steely resolve from Yuri number 2. He's going to go to Japan. He's going to wrestle Victor away from that ungrateful piece of shit, Yuri, and make him his coach. It seems Victor is...
Well, I don't know if Yuri Plazetsky wants Victor to be his coach per se. I think he just wants that program, because Victor had promised him that he would choreograph him a program for his senior debut, and Victor basically, before fulfilling that promise, bogged off to Japan.
Victor and Yuri too pretty paralleled in a lot of their decision-making process. We get to see a flashback with a very young Yuri 2.
Yes.
And a slightly younger Victor, although he doesn't look it.
Well, no, but you've got 3 years. So Yuri Plazetsky right now for us is 15. So that was when he was 12.
Yeah.
So kids between 12 and 15 change quite a bit. Whereas Victor was, 25 at that time? So 25 to 27. 24 to 27.
Anyway.
Whatever. It's not going to change much.
Yeah. So we see Yuri 2 performing a little bit. Looks like he's a go-getter.
Yeah.
He's pretty punk rock.
Yeah.
Pretty stylized. He kicks ass.
Huh?
He does have a bowl cut.
He looked like Kid Gohan.
Yeah. It's a little embarrassing at this point. But he's a kid.
Yeah.
He's 12.
Yeah.
Probably went to Supercuts or whatever the
equivalent.
Supercuts.
Yeah, Russian
from
equivalent
Russia
of Supercuts.
I I don't know how we got here, but Yuri 2 winds up seeing Victor. Victor's hanging out.
Yeah.
He's watching him perform, something like that.
Yeah.
Comes over, says, hey, shouldn't be too mad at the kid. The kid performed a triple axel.
Quad. He did a quad.
A quad.
Yeah, but he's not allowed to do quads until he's older.
He shouldn't have.
Yeah, so he bucked it. He was punk rock, and he's like, no, I'm going to do a quad.
Yuri 2 don't listen to nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got to spin.
But then Victor's like, you can win without those quads, and if you do, then I'll choreograph that program for your senior debut.
So not even involved in his life, already teaching this kid. Yeah. Probably more than his coach did.
Probably.
Is there anything Victor can't do?
No.
All right. So, next, Minako. We've got a little bit of ballet in there. We get to see some of Yuri 2's motivation. He hops on a plane, pops over to Japan.
Yeah, and that's where he comes out of the station. He's like, oh, creepy, and he takes a picture of the squid urchin statue.
Squid urchin, squid, humping an urchin statue.
Part of this scene that I really liked was just Yuri Plazetsky walking through town yelling Victor's name. Like, he has no idea where Victor is. So he's like, his reasoning is, I'm just going to walk through town, through the market, through town, yelling Victor's name at the top of his lungs.
It's probably how things work in Russia. I'm not sure. I've never been there.
I don't know, but it was just like, what
Correct me if I'm wrong,
happening?
though. His tactic isn't stupid.
No, it works.
Because it works.
Yeah, because that fisherman is like, oh, you're looking for Victor.
Ideas are only bad when they don't yield results.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're looking for Victor. He's usually at the skating rink underneath the castle. Would you like directions? I can give you them, and I can actually take you there if you would like. So, yeah. And I think it's also moving the plot along.
We see Yuri 2 super, super, super jazzed about a cat t-shirt.
Yes.
He's obviously a cat guy.
He's a cat guy. Most of his stuff is cats.
He even risks, because his coach doesn't know where he is, he hopped on a plane.
Yeah.
Apparently all these folks just have oodles of disposable income, which is just good for them, you know?
No doubt.
Doing what you love, having the money, sweet. So he posts a picture of himself wearing that cat shirt to Instagram. Might be a problem later on. He got found out.
The funny thing is when he took the picture of the squid humping the urchin, he's like, I can't post this because then Yakov will know where I am. Like 5 minutes later, he buys this cat shirt, this tiger shirt with a bow tie, and he posts a picture of it. It's like, but I guess that's kind of 15, like, not really.
Or impulse control.
Yeah, just kind of living in the moment there. He had an idea that it was like, I can't post this picture, but then it just went right out the window once he saw that t-shirt.
Super sweet shirt, though.
Yeah.
So now we move back to Victor and Yuri 1.
Yeah.
They are going to go to the Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Where Minako hangs out. No, not Minako. What's her name? Yuko.
Yuko, yeah.
Where Yuko hangs out, that's where her bully of a husband is, and the three angry
girls.
Children. I think Yuri takes Victor on a bit of a tour of the city. As they're walking by, Yuri mentions the castle in the distance that used to be a ninja castle.
Oh, dude, that was like a long time ago, because that's the picture that he posted that Yuri Plazetsky saw. So that was a little bit back. But yeah.
Victor meets some nice folks at the Ice Palace. At first, it's just them. They just go in. Victor tells the staff, you guys, we're here now.
Yeah.
This is it. This is happening.
This is
I'm Victor.
Our rink, yeah.
This is what's happening because I'm Victor.
Yep.
And they say, well, we'll check with the upper up. So I'm not sure if these people are the owners anymore.
See, and it's really confusing because I'm like, I think they own them, but then it's just like, but then they ask that they need to talk to the owners, but maybe that's just like a tongue in cheek, and it's like, I have to talk to the owners.
Gotta go run it by the owners.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's that.
So we see a couple of fans. I guess it gets out that the Ice Palace is where they are doing their thing from now on. Yes. So people come to see it.
There's fans. There's paparazzi. There's a bunch of people that are now descending upon the Ice Castle.
Seems to be a pretty jumping place now.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like it was that busy. Yuri got in anytime he wanted. I don't know how these things work.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a free skate period or if they do
Well,
hockey
it was
too.
just basically just because Yuri was this high class skater. It was like he could. It was a small enough town that I think that they just let him skate whenever he really wanted.
But now it seems that the multitude of fans of figure skating have descended upon this place.
Yeah, but no one's actually skating.
No, they're just watching.
Yeah.
They like to watch Victor.
Well, and they aren't even watching like the skating part. They're just kind of out in the foyer and
rubbing elbows,
waiting for Victor to come and
because Victor's killing it. He's on the ice.
Yeah.
He's shredding. I don't know
Yeah.
what the figure skating term is, but he's kicking some ass.
Yeah.
Yuri 2 stalking Victor via Instagram.
Yep.
This seems to be a major plot point. The posting of the photos.
Yeah.
Might become a problem later on.
We'll
what are you
see.
thinking?
We'll
Okay,
see.
okay. I can see this being a through thing from episode to episode. Yuri 2 bought a Sweet Tiger shirt. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a flashback. Yuri 2 flashes back and forgets what he's doing.
Yes.
He was walking.
Yeah, that's when he's thinking about
trying to find Victor.
Yeah, that's when he's thinking about
screaming his name
Victor's
at the top
promise.
of his lungs.
Yeah, he's trying to remember. Yeah, and that's
So the promise that Victor made to Yuri, Yuri 2,
Yuri Plazetsky, yeah.
was to help him design a routine.
Yes, for his senior debut.
For his senior debut, which will be the next competition season.
Yes.
So not only is Yuri 2 looking for Victor, he's going to make him commit.
Yes.
So Victor's a little bit flaky, but I think he's aware of it.
Yes. And at this point, I'm like, when Yuri Plazetsky actually gets to the ice castle, he's also kind of a dick. Like, he comes in, he kicks Yuri Katsky in the back, he steps on his face. He's not a nice guy, but he just kind of is for him. Like, Yuri Plazetsky is all about Yuri Plazetsky, so.
Yuri 2 loves Yuri 2.
Yeah.
He kicks Yuri 1's ass.
Yeah.
First physically and then emotionally.
Yeah.
So first he trods on him, he kicks him real good, knocks him down, then starts to berate him.
Yeah, like why would Victor ever come? What does he see in you? And I think it's more Yuri Plazetsky is just confused. Like, what does he see in you? Like, you were crying in the bathroom. Like,
yeah.
If he knew about that, he would drop you like a hot potato.
I believe that's exactly what he said too.
And the funny thing is there's also a definite shift in Yuri Katsky's character, because you hear his inner monologue and he goes from being like, oh, the Russian punk, oh my god. Then he's like, he has no clue. Like, he's really underestimating me as a person. Like, yeah, I was kind of down and out then, but like, that's not who I am on a daily basis. So you kind of see this shift where Yuri Katsky's like, he's 15 years old. Like,
who is this kid?
Yeah, I got, like, he's great. Like, he's an excellent skater. He's confident, but he's a 15-year-old kid. And that's where his motivation comes from. He's like, he's 15. He's cock of the walk. He knows everything, right? Whereas Yuri Katsky is 25. Like, he's been there, man.
He's been through some stuff.
Yeah, he's been there. So, you see this shift in his character where he has more of a handle on the situation than I think Yuri Plazetsky gives him credit for.
Next, we had our food bumper.
Yeah, the food bumper.
The next note I have is Yuri loses weight in 1 week.
Yeah.
There was a stipulation that Victor would not let Yuri onto the ice until he was in his pre-fatty stage.
Yeah.
So
we have a training montage.
We have a training montage, and Yuri tightens it up just like that. No problem.
Yeah. To be fair, it looks like he basically is training all day and night to get
day
back
and
to
night,
this weight.
Karate Kid
still,
style.
That can't be healthy.
Waxing cars.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe you only have to lose like
fences.
2 pounds. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible.
Maybe 5 pounds. Like, yeah, it's possible.
5, 10, 15.
Because, like, honestly, we go to work and stuff. This is literally all Yuri had to do was.
It's like the Marvel thing where all you do is get shredded all day.
Yeah, exactly.
FYI, if anybody out there has any connections to Marvel movies, I will take any casting. Yeah. Just to get ripped.
Okay.
All right.
What's your next point?
So Yuri 2 got emotionally kicking Yuri's ass.
Yeah.
Yuri 2 is now the exposition machine.
Yes.
It is shifted from Minako. Now it is Yuri 2.
Yeah.
Now he's laying out the exposition.
Yeah. Basically, Victor, he couldn't surprise his audiences anymore, and that was what was most important to him.
Victor's too good.
Yeah, Victor's too good. He's a victim of his own success.
It's
really.
not fun. It's like Dave Chappelle on his comedy specials.
Yeah, it's like
he's just too good.
You're gonna laugh, like you're gonna love me, and for Victor, like his whole thing was surprising the audience, but because he's so good, nothing surprises people anymore, except for this leap to take a season off. Yeah.
He's taking a season off.
So I think that's where the surprise came from.
People, shocked.
But yeah, Yuri Kozetsky is just talking about that because he sees Victor doing a routine that he was choreographing for next season that he obviously will never perform, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
which Yuri too says he'll gladly take that over for Victor.
Yes.
If he wants him to. Now comes a very interesting point of conflict in these ones. Yuri, too, obviously wants to win a Grand Prix of his own.
Yes.
He is, he's heading into the majors this time. He's on it. But he wants Victor in his corner.
Yeah.
So, Victor wants to be there for Yuri 1. Yuri 2 also wants Victor.
Yes.
Got a little bit of strife there. So Victor comes up with an ingenious method of doing this, King Solomon style. Let's get both Yuris to dance to one of my routines. So he picks out a piece of music that has two very different tempos to it, different styles to it. Plays it for the Yuris.
Yes.
Now he makes it kind of seem like they're going to be able to pick which one is most comfortable to them. One half of the song, he lays out that the entire thing is thematic around love.
Yes.
Whether it's physical love or emotional love.
Yeah, basically it goes the innocence versus sexual love. So
innocence versus Victor's sexual love.
Yes.
Which could be its own podcast all by itself. So what happens is he plays a little bit of the music. Both Yuris kind of peek up at the parts that they like. Mm-hmm. The emotional part, Yuri 1 resonates with. The real physical, get him part, Yuri 2 is all into. So Victor throws a monkey wrench into it. Yeah, it's more caliente.
It's more his style, right? Like that's Yuri Plazetsky's style.
Victor drops a bomb during this stage.
Yes.
He says, both y'all Yuris, you suck.
Yep. He flat out tells them that they think they're better than they actually are. Just a piggy and a kitten.
Piggy and a kitten, which he refers to Yuri still as a piggy, weight shaming him, even though he's already back to fighting. It's fine. It's fine. It's just what we're gonna do from now on.
It's just how it goes, okay?
So somehow this competition picks up steam. The whole town is into it now.
Oh yeah, well the girls, the Ice Castle triplets, they are like, you are not going to do this without us wetting our beaks a little. So
we hear about talking to the bosses. I think these are them.
Yeah.
I think these are the higher ups that everything needs to go through.
They're gonna make some mad bank on this contest.
Evil geniuses.
And Victor's all about it. He's excited. He's like, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. The prize for the competition is Victor has to do whatever the winner wants. And for Yuri Plazetsky, that is coming back to Russia and choreographing his program and basically just being there for him. For Yuri Kutsky, he just wants to eat pork cutlet bowls with Victor. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to eat with him.
Just wants to eat with Victor.
So innocent.
The announcement
for
the competition that's going on, it flashes to outside. It's got like the four directional PA system, very reminiscent of the Samurai Pizza Cats.
Yeah, so
it made me instantly think of Francine launching off the Pizza Cats into the distance.
Yeah, and announcing this to the entire town.
Because, nobody else is, you know, they went to bed early.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be into figure skating all the time.
So they announced this on through this loudspeaker system throughout town. It's also breaking news. It is on every single TV
you can't get away from it.
And it's in all the newspapers. Like, it is front page news. Like, this stuff is intense. Like I even made a note of it. It's like, it's on the news, it's in the newspapers, it's on the loudspeakers. Like, this town must be starved for entertainment.
I don't think anything's ever happened there.
No, I don't think so either. Like, I know it's a small town.
Lovely
but
cherry blossoms, weird statue,
like,
ice
that's
skating.
Just...
It's on the it's on the license plates.
Oh my gosh! So yeah, they
so
are all
Yuri
about it.
Yuri on ice is what's happening. Yuri on Yuri.
Yeah, it's Hot Springs on ice. Yeah, but it's Hot Springs on ice. That's the competition.
Hot Springs the bracket that they give it.
Yes.
So Yuri number 2 seems to be the personification of anger at this point. His sister calls him Yurio.
Yes. Yeah, because she thinks it's too confusing to have two Yuris.
Two Yuris.
So Yuri Plazetsky is now dubbed Yurio. And that will continue throughout the entire show.
He's not a fan of it.
No, but eventually it sticks. Like, it sticks.
I also seem to think that Yuri's sister has some attraction to Yuri too.
Just because, I don't know if you were writing at this time, but he looks exactly like one of her favorite bands. He looks like the lead singer of one of her favorite bands.
A little creepy. She's obviously the older sister of Yuri.
But yeah, it doesn't, like, that's literally all
weird.
it is.
It's all good.
That's
it's all
good.
good.
She's just like, oh, he looks like this, my favorite band singer.
So now the competition.
No, I still have some stuff. So, at this point, we now have Yurio. He's staying with them at the hot springs.
At the cutlet house.
Yeah, at the cutlet house.
Ye oldie house o' cutlets.
Yeah, I do have to say, like, probably this episode is what I quote the most to you. Like, when Victor says, "Uh-oh, that's a grumpy face." I say that a lot when Mike has a grumpy face on. And also when Yurio, they're like, "Do you want to dip in the hot spring? You know, it's nice." And Yurio's like, "I don't want to bathe with other people." And he kind of slams the door. And all of a sudden you hear his stomach growl. And he opens the door and he's like, "I want food and a bath." And whenever I have a bath, that's usually what I say.
Food and a bath.
So now you know all my weird quotes that I say to you, and you're just like,
I'm
you look
it.
at me blankly, and it's just like,
I'm picking it up.
But yeah, whenever I want a bath, I want food and a bath.
So really, before we get into that, Yuri needs a safe place to practice.
Yes, practicing calms his anxieties.
He's a bit of a neurotic individual.
Yeah.
So he needs to get away from time to time. He disappears in the middle of the night, which is where we find out he can sometimes go to the Ice Palace when he wants to, the ballet studio, anywhere he can really blow off some steam. Yeah. And Victor's looking for him. Doesn't know where he is. He's worried. Yeah,
Victor's worried, and he wants to know where Yuri went, and he also, now his friends are kind of explaining, like, you know, he gets anxiety, he gets anxious, so he likes to blow off some steam. This is where we also find out that Yuri is actually very competitive, and he takes losing very hardly. So, like, he's a very sore loser. Like, even though he doesn't portray that confidence, he doesn't like to lose. So that's just like a little insight into his character, and it's also insight for Victor. So we and Victor are learning a bit more about Yuri
it's unfolding
as it goes along. So.
Yeah, we learned that Yuri's bad at playing with friends, making friends. A little bit more insight into his past, maybe why he's a little bit socially awkward. Yeah, it's all good, man.
Yeah. Like, he has some really close people to him. Like, he has Minako, he has Yuko. I can't remember her husband's name. We'll just call him the bully.
Yeah. Victor again calls Yuri Piggy to fat shame him another time, even though at this point he's still lost weight.
Yes.
Victor equals dictator.
He has confidence, and he's earned that confidence. I mean, he is the top skater, and he has been for the past over 5 years. So he has confidence, but he has the chops to back it up for sure. And you know what? So does Yuri Plazetsky. Like, he has that confidence, but he's junior world champion. He is confident that he is going to make his senior debut, and he's going to win at 15 years old. So
they seem to just grow excellent blonde skaters in Russia.
Yes, they do.
Victor's routine now comes in here for both Yuri's. about love and butts.
And butts.
Way more butts than love in the next scene.
There's a lot of butts.
Everybody's butt gets a little bit of time.
Yeah,
there's some
does.
showcasing.
Yeah. I do like the angles that they have in that scene. Like they have a lot. No, but like just the way that scene is quote unquote filmed. They have like a lot of very interesting shots, a lot of very interesting angles to just portray. So it's not just a static, now I'm just going to talk to you and blah, blah, blah. They have like close-ups of the face. They have close-up of, yes, the butts.
The butts.
They have some different angles. They have, Victor with his back to the camera, with Yuri and Yurio on the other side of him. Like, there's a lot of play with light. I just really enjoy how they animated that scene.
It's a good-looking show. We don't get a lot of the skating involved in here. It's pretty much just a planning episode.
It's gonna.
We learn, surprise, surprise, that Victor has done exactly what we expected him to, and give the piece of the music.
Yes.
That is least comfortable for each Yuri to them, challenging them, bringing them a little bit further out of their shell or whatever the hell they're doing.
And I just think he wants to see Yuri Kotsky do this sexual love one.
We'll see where that goes.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I was watching it and coming from, this is probably, I don't know, my 50th viewing. I have no idea. I've watched it so many times. Just the way Victor looks at Yuri throughout this whole episode is just so sweet. Like, he gets those little, like, shimmery eyes, and he's just like, oh my god, he's so cute. It's just like, it's adorable. I just love the way he just, and it changes. Like, the way he looks at Yurio is definitely different from the way he looks at Yuri Kotsky. So...
And this is where we learn as well about the result of this.
Mm-hmm.
So the winner will receive
I kind of jumped
whatever Victor wants, or whatever they want from Victor.
From Victor, yeah. So this is a kind of a do or die moment for Yuri, because he can
lose Victor, which he just got.
Yeah. So
this seems like same day shit.
Yeah, he gets
there, he gets naked, he gets in the hot tub, he has a little bit of the pork cutlet bowl, they walk around a little bit, they go to the ice palace, now Yuri 2's here.
I know, but there was a week where Yuri had to get back into shape. When they first announced,
seemingly nothing else happened.
When they first announced the contest, Victor said, I'll choreograph things, be back in a week, and then there's going to be another week before the actual contest so that they can practice and stuff. So.
And yeah, Yuri 2 really likes cats.
Yes, he does.
Big fan.
He loves cats.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Also a big fan of cats, so I'm feeling Yuri 2 more than Yuri 1 now.
It's throughout the show, that cat theme.
Still not convinced Yuri 1 is the Yuri for me. Yuri 2 seems a little bit more my speed, especially at present. I know we're supposed to root for Yuri 1, but he's a wiener, and
he gets better.
He better get his stuff together pretty quick here, or he's going to lose that Victor.
Yep. So we just got to wait and see what happens. I also have a note here that Victor obviously sees the potential that Yuri has. He just now knows why Yuri chokes so hard in competition. So I feel like he's going to be like, he now that he knows Yuri Kotsky a little bit better, he's going to be able to coach him
the way that he needs to be
coached.
Get him out of his shell.
Obviously, all of his previous coaches just did not cut the mustard. If he was able to get to the Grand Prix and then choke that badly, like, come on, man. You got to have something to get him out of that.
It's true. This brings us to the end. The end of the episode. We got our outro again. I think it's consistent with the last one. I didn't notice any new images.
No, it's the same. It's scrolling through the Instagram feed. And I will say, for the past two episodes, you have been writing when my favorite picture comes up, and it just makes me so sad that you miss it every single time. But it is Victor combing Yuri's hair. And it's so cute. And it makes me so happy.
I believe we call that foreshadowing.
Yeah, there's a lot of foreshadowing in just the little outro there. But yeah, that's the end of episode 2, and I'm excited for getting into episode 3, because episode 3 we're actually going to start getting into, the skating, the competitions. It's going to get a little bit more exciting. It's going to get a little bit more intense. Relationships are going to progress. Yeah.
More butts. Butts.
There are a lot of butts, but like I said, like the guy who created it said you got to get them butts right.
Gotta get
Skaters
them
got
butts.
perfect butts, so they have to. So yeah.
So far pretty enjoyable.
It
We've
is.
got a lot more character development in this one. We'll see where episode number 3
Yes.
goes.
This is like it, because there's only 12 episodes. It does ramp
Starts
up
to ramp.
quite quickly, just because it's got to get, and there's that
I'm
filler
looking forward-
episode, right? So
Yeah.
so technically it's only like 11 episodes, so it's got to ramp up pretty quickly here.
I am looking forward to increasing the pace on this one a little bit. I've met these guys. I know where they're coming from so far. We've had lots of exposition, so
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to get to the skating.
Yeah, and we will.
Fucking do this.
Once the hot springs on ice competition, and we'll get some more time skips, just so we're not like bogged down in Victor coaching. It's more like, okay, we've done the hot spring on ice, so on, so on, so on. Now we're at a competition. Now we're at a competition. Now we're in the Grand Prix. Now we're now it's over.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
It goes very quickly from here on in. So.
All right, so that is the end of this episode as well. This is the second one so far. We're planning on doing one of these every week.
Yes, and once we're done Yuri on Ice, we'll move on to the next thing that I have to make Mike watch.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, this is just an exercise in making Mike watch crappy, girly animes that I love that he would never watch otherwise.
Well, it's not that I wouldn't. I just never had the interest.
Yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't draw me like it does to you. So
yeah, exactly.
So far, so good.
Yeah,
we'll look forward to
new.
many more. Please also take the time to visit Nerd Stew on our YouTube page.
Yes, we're going to start putting a little bit more content onto our YouTube channel. We're going to start streaming video games on Twitch and Mixer. So yeah, we're just going to try to put out more content just for fun, really. Like, we just want to be creative and do something a little different that we've never done before. So yeah.
Right on. So this is Meg and Mike signing out.
Yeah.